Hey everybody, this is Ricky Haro with the Kaniksu Ultras Board of Directors. I'm going to be managing the race for this year and just wanted to give you guys a couple key points for planning for your race. We're roughly 7 days away and we can't be more stoked than anything for this year's race. It's our 5th year this year doing the race. Not only that, but it's also one of our biggest races we put on so far out of over the years. We are a little over 7 people away from actually topping the 100 participant goal, which is what we are looking to do for this year. So we're really super excited and super stoked. Not only that, but we have a couple new events that are out there at the weekend this year. We have the Sear Beer Mile, which is happening this next Friday. And then along with the K50 and the Emory Corwine Memorial Ruck, we've added another event, which is the Tall Trees 29K, which is the 18-mile, pretty rugged out and back race that goes to the top of Granite and back to Frater Lake. So super, super stoked on that. But let's kind of get down to business on this. So one of the things that I wanted to do is just highlight where to go for event information. Over the next day or so, we're going to be putting out a couple emails to race participants and volunteers for some of the logistics that need to take place. But while you're kind of perusing and coming up with a strategy for your race this year, I'm hoping to just highlight a couple things here. So on the new website, kaniksuultras.com, you can click on this events section, and this will bring you down to our events. We're hoping to add a few more events over the next year or two. But right now, what we currently have is the Kaniksu 50 miler ultra. We have the Emory Corwine Memorial Ruck Race, and then we also have the Tall Trees 29K. And where you're going to find information for that is if you go over and just select the race details here, or you could go to kaniksuultras.com/Kaniksu-50-events-page. Big thing to say. But anyways, click on that tab, and this will bring you into all of the up-to-date course information. And when we go through this, we'll walk through. You'll see some key race information. There'll be stuff on registration. We've extended the registration deadline. It was the 1st, but we're giving you until the 4th at midnight to get it in. You can also register with us at the race registration on Friday, as well as super early Saturday, but make sure you get there super early if you're going to register on Saturday. All the race fees are located in this, as well as the Emory Corwine Memorial Ruck Race with the associated discounts in that. Most of you have already done that, so we're not going to worry about all of that. We're just going to take a look here at the event schedule. On June 8th, packet pickup is from 5 to 8 p.m. We also have the inaugural Sear Beer Mile, which is a really cool event sponsored by the Big Sky Brewery. They are giving us a beer for each participant that's coming into this. Basically, you run a quarter mile, you drink a beer, run a quarter mile, come back, drink another beer, run a quarter mile, come back, drink a beer, run another one, come back, drink a beer. It's going to be pretty awesome. There's a lot of people literally actually training for this, so it's pretty fun. The 9th, 4 to 5:30 a.m. is race pickup. 5 to 5:30 is the Ruck race participant weigh-in and inspections. It's your pack weigh-in, not you actually weighing in. If you're racing with any of the events that have and give you the ability to do a drop bag, 5:30 a.m. is where we need to have those drop bags placed. There's going to be a staging area right next to where you registered. Drop the bags off there. We'll make sure that they get to the aid stations appropriately. Make sure if you have multiple drop bags that you label the aid station on it. Make sure you have your race bib number, your last name, as well as the aid station that you want that bag to go. Just in case they get mixed up, we have the ability to get them pretty quickly. 5:30 to 6 a.m. is the race briefing for the K50 and the Emory Corwine Memorial Ruck Race folks. That race starts off at 6:12, and then we'll reset again. 7:30 to 7:50 will be the Tall Trees race briefing for the 29K, and we'll kick that off at 8 a.m. We do have some cutoffs, so make sure you check out the information here for the actual cutoffs, okay? As far as course information, some really cool, important pieces that we've added to our resource for you guys. One thing that always gets noted every single year is how deceiving our course is. And I'm telling you, having run this last year and run these legs a couple times, this race is like a roller coaster. It's the best way that I can explain it. And really, truly, the way that you get through this successfully is to do really good map studies and know when you're climbing hills, when you're not climbing major hills. Set your strategy up for that. So we've created a couple links to the course maps. One course map is through Google Maps. You can use this on your iPhone or any kind of other mobile device that you have. This can get you to and from the race site, which is Frater Lake. This also shows critical things like aid stations as well as the race campsite. Okay. The other maps are through CalTopo, and we're going to come back to these because I'm going to spend some time on this. But these particular maps are all set up for you to do some really cool analytical stuff. And we'll come back to that because I really want to highlight these things for your race this year. If you go through all this, you're going to see that we do have memorial legs that are for each SEER specialist that had passed on while on active duty. And so we've gone through and we've dedicated several legs to the folks of this particular piece. We'll go through each of these as we move along, but if you want to know some details about each of these legs and who the individual is, feel free to visit the site, take a look at them. We will have folks that knew all of these individuals, and we'll have stories for every one of them. We also will have folks that were related to these individuals out there either supporting the course and running. So, welcome to the family, and it's going to be really huge. Couple other really cool critical information that you're going to need to know about are the aid stations and where crews can access you. There are actually only 6 aid stations, but because we do loops and we do out and backs, you have access to these stations a total of 12 times. Each one of these stations that you'll see here are either limited water stations, partially stocked aid stations, and fully stocked aid stations. So do your homework, take a look at this, know which one is what, and set your strategy up for success when you're doing this. In terms of pacer support, there's some information in here. Essentially, you can have pacers out at Frater Lake and at 550, and that's usually after the first loop and the out and back from Granite. Then you can pick up your pacers. We talked about drop bags already. You're going to have access to 2 different places. One will be 558 station, which is miles 9.5 and 43, as well as the Frater Lake headquarters, which is miles 16.5, 33.5, and 50. Frater Lake is your headquarters. So it's every place, or it's the location that you're coming in and out of a lot. Right? We do have a lot of people that we share the trails with. So make sure you review any right-of-way rules. For us, we are good stewards of the trail. So essentially, we usually will pull over for everybody that's out there. It's just kind of a general rule that we like to have. But usually for our event, if you're running downhill, you have the right-of-way with other competitors that are coming up the hill. If you're sharing the trail with hikers, horses, ATVs, or motorcycles, make sure you're smart and give them the right of way. They go a lot faster than you do, and some of them are even a little bit more potentially dangerous, like the horses, than you are. We have cutoff times that are also here that are located for each of the different races. We have elevation profiles. This particular elevation profile is of the entire course, the entire K50 course. I'm going to show you where to actually find this and do a little bit more deeper dive into the elevation profile. So hold your thought on that. If you're doing a ruck race, we do have some rules that you need to understand and know. The rules are also located on the same page. There are ruck requirements. 35 pounds for males, 25 pounds for females. You can carry 35 if you want, but we do have a minimum of 25 pounds in that. The morning of the race, we are going to weigh your pack and ensure that they get sealed off. And this is just more for the race integrity of this piece. Okay. We also have baton requirements, so make sure you take a look at that, understand what the baton is, and just realize that you also get a cool award for this. So you're going to want to be pretty creative in terms of how that works. Our new event, the Tall Trees 29K, which is this Granite Peak out and back. We have some summary information in here. We've also got some aid station information as well. You do not have crew support for this race. It's only 29K, so which is 18 miles roughly. So you're just looking at this being a completely self-supported race. Another set of information that's going to be good for you to understand and know over the next week are the lodging details. Like we said right now, we do have a reserved campsite specifically for the event, which is just an open field right down the road from us. Um, you're more than welcome to stay there. There are also dispersed campsites all throughout the area. All that we ask that you do is just try to get off the main road as best as you can. There are logging operations that are up there. So we just would really hope and want you guys to have a really fun weekend, but at the same time be safe, minimize the amount of impact that we have out on some of these different camping areas. But if you're looking for some more camping locations, we have some really good campgrounds that are hosted by the U.S. Forest Service: Lake Thomas, Lake Gillette, and Lake Leo. And these are all things that you can find on our main map. There's also hotel and cabins that can be around. In Ione, the Riverview Inn and Motel is a good place to go. Another place is the Beaver Lodge Resort. I would definitely, if you haven't got reservations for any of these places, make sure you do a call in and you get your reservation, right? That's pretty much it for the logistics. One of the things that I did want to bring up is our new course maps. I just want to take a couple minutes to show you how to navigate to this particular elevation profile for whatever race that you're doing, and then also be able to run some analytics, because this is, to me, one of the most important parts of the race, and I feel like a lot of people haven't really done the homework other than just look at a topo map. And our course is far more advanced, and you need to understand looking at a topo map is not going to give you a really good read on what this race is all about in terms of the terrain. So to find these, you're going to go back up to the top. You're going to look for course information. You're going to scroll down, and you're going to find these links to course maps. Like I said before, you're going to see that there is a Google Map master map. You'll have a CalTopo master map. This is going to show a route analysis that is broken down by each leg, memorial leg. So you can break this down into 10-mile sections, 6-mile sections, however it's going to be. We also have a CalTopo Kaniksu 50 Ultra map. This is purely more or less the entire 50-mile route without having any of the legs broken down. So this is going to give you one full solid stretch of data. We have the CalTopo Emory Corwine Memorial Ruck Race. This is also broken down by leg for the Ruck Race itself. And then we also have the CalTopo 29Ks map. Just for simplicity's sake, what I want to do is just bring up the Tall Trees 29K. Okay. When we click on this, you're going to be brought into another map platform. Now, this particular platform is an open source platform. It's really cool. I do a lot of my planning through this because I can go in and I can select different maps. I can bring in aerial imagery. I can bring in all kinds of stuff. We have this set up for 7.5-minute maps of the area. You can actually come in pretty deep into the map system itself and click on a wide variety of different things that we may have put into here. One of them is like the Freighter Lake waypoint. There'll be notes about the Freighter Lake aid station, where you can find it, both from a digital lat long coordinate point of view as well as your UTM point of view. There's other things that you can do too, is you can take a look at some different analytics that CalTopo puts on for each of these different waypoints, as well as look at the map and the route. I'm just going to zoom in out of this real quick so you can take a look here. When you come into this software setup, there'll be some information when you click on this black line. You can click on the line, it'll come up and it'll ask you what actions that you would like to do. It'll be like profile, terrain statistics, and print map. Okay. It'll also give you what the line itself is mapped out on through this particular platform. Do not take this 16 miles as literal. The course itself is right at 18 miles. These trails have a tendency to change over the years. And what we did is we mapped this out as best as we can, still coming up with that 16-mile piece or 16-mile distance, but it is actually 29 kilometers, 18 miles, okay? When you come into here, there's a couple really cool things that you can do. Click on profile or terrain statistics. When you click on the profile, I'm going to close this out. You will be brought in and you'll actually see this profile down below. Now what's really cool is this will give you a breakdown for your elevation gains. This is based on map data. This does not show kind of the up and downs that the actual trail may do. And being that most of this is still cared for by motorcycle riders, they don't really have, it's super easy for them to kind of go up the side of a hill and down, which isn't necessarily going to be mapped out, okay? But this will give you a really good idea of what we're looking for in this particular lake. One thing that's cool that I like about this feature is that you can, as I scroll across this bottom, you can look and see on the actual route above that line will move and it'll pass through the distance that you're looking for. So you can, if you wanted to, and you wanted to take a look at this hill climb going up towards this particular hill right here, you can actually run your cursor along this and kind of see what you're looking at for the feature that you're seeing on the elevation profile and where that's located on the map. All right. Another thing that you can do is if you click on this line and you wanted to run terrain statistics, this will bring you to a map that looks very similar to the one that we have posted on our website. Now these terrain statistics are really nice because what you'll see here at the very bottom of the actual graph where my mouse is at is you'll have a slope angle that is located on the top bar. You'll have a land cover angle, which is the middle, and then you'll have your tree cover angle, which is the very top. This is based off of the data that is pulled in from the different maps that we're using, and this can show you some really good information about what you're looking for in terms of the barrenness or the exposure that you would potentially have, as well as the slope angles or the majority of the slope angles that you'll be dealing with while out there on the course. Okay. This is something that I really like. I take a look at and I study pretty heavily on my own routes that I do for my own particular racing. And I think it's something that can help you out in the long run down the road. Okay. Another way to actually get to this information, if you're looking just to do some quick study, I'm just going to pull this out for you real quick, is this sidebar has a lot of information here. I could come in and I can change this route to be more aerial imagery so I can take a look at it. I can also change it to have slope shading. Any kind of Forest Service maps that we loaded up for you guys is also going to be here. So you can go through all the preset layers that we have here and be able to give you a full sense of what this route is about. Okay. The other thing that you have here is you can take a look at any of the information that's located that we've put in specifically for this particular course. At the very bottom, you're going to see something that says lines and polygons. This is the line that's drawn, that's brought in from any kind of GPS data that we used to build this particular course. Right here, where my mouse cursor is at, you'll see above the black or bulk ops words here, you'll see this kind of bar graph profile thing. If you click on that, that's going to bring you back into the elevations, kind of a little shortcut. And then if you click this expand, this brings you into the more deeper dive data for your route. Okay. That's all we really have, folks. Hopefully you'll take the next 20 minutes or so, review this, surf through the website, click on CalTopo maps. I'm telling you, it's going to save you in the long run to do these map studies of this route. I hope that you guys take the next few days to just recover those legs. Be ready for this race, whether you're doing the Tall Trees 29K or you're doing the Kaniksu 50 or you're doing the Emory Corwine Memorial Ruck Race. And we have teams and we have solo folks in that as well. Solo folks are some pretty hardcore people. They're going at it with the Rucks for 50 straight miles and trying to knock this out within the same amount of time frame that we're giving everybody else. So really cool event. Can't wait to see all of you out there. I love this event every single year. I'm looking forward to having a really good time and being able to put this on for you guys. This is Ricky. Hope you're doing all well. Love to see you guys next week. Talk to you later.